Dial indicators are precision instruments. The procedures I present in this video may cause harm to your dial indicator. In this episode of Finno-Ugric Machining, we are going to fix a little bit sticky dial indicator. Well, it's this one. Well, as you can see, it's a little bit bigger than normal. It's quite good. The brand is Käfer, and this one is German. This one is a German-made, very good quality dial indicator, but it has a problem, and it's sticky. Well, let's go to my workbench and start fixing this one. Here we have this dial indicator. Well, it looks like it would be unused. There are no obvious signs of usage in it. It's in a pretty pristine condition. Nevertheless, it has a problem. So there is this shield which is protecting this very long. This has 100 millimeter stroke. So if I put it there and then I release it, it stops. Doesn't go all the way to zero. It's sticky. Okay. And this is something we need to fix today. So now, these dial indicators rarely come the movement, which is taking care of the movement of the pointers here, rarely comes out from this side. They almost always come out from the face side, and this is not an exception. But before we can even think about removing them, we need to take this glass. In this case it's real glass. We need to take that one away. So, in this case we have these pointers, like these two here. I move it in a more suitable position so that we both can see them. They are like two C-clips. You can move them in such a way that, oh wait a minute, in such a way that they, okay, now it's quite near what I want. Now, okay, you can see a gap here. There is a gap. And they are really large C-clips which go around here, like there. And in this case, this rim is made of plastic. So what you don't do here, you don't put any knife or anything there behind and try to peel it off. No, that's wrong. So what you do, you put them a little bit, I hope this can be seen in the camera somehow. You put them slightly apart so that you can put your screwdriver here under and then bend it. And it will come up like that. And then what you do, you don't rip it off now all the way. That would damage the ring. You push it gently towards the center. And like that. You push it here. And then you get it off from there. It's like that. That was one. The next is significantly simpler because you already see the gap and there is some flex in it because we have room there. But the same applies. You pull it off like that, push it towards the center, and then it comes off by itself, like that. And in this case we have a glass here. so you probably can drop it off like this. Yeah. And now we have these pointers here, and this is quite a delicate operation. What you need for it is 2 screwdrivers like this. Well, I'm a Finnish guy, I am having wood here. Okay, it came off. So there you are. That's the way how you extract it, and then of course you put it aside. There should be, yeah, there is. This is a ring like this. And then we have this graduation thing, which should also be quite easy to get away from there. Let's see if we have, yeah. Okay, that's off. Well, as you can see, it, oh yeah, it comes off by itself actually. Does it come off like, okay. I think we have the gear here under. Yes, we do. Okay, that's one. And there you are. And then this should pop off like that. Okay, we are there. Well, maybe it's a good idea to have this supporting there so that I don't damage the small pin that is sticking out from there. Let's take these screws away. This should now come off, and it really does. And now we can take the movement away. Yeah. It had three screws there. And now this should come off this way. As I said, they almost never come apart from the backside. And this is now one unit. And then I know how to get this apart. This is how you do it. Oh yeah, there is this sleeve. So here is the thing that is controlling the movement here inside, and well, it's just a screw, and then I can probably pull the whole thing away from there. Yeah. So now let's take apart this movement. I again have here a little bit smaller jar with brake cleaner.
So now this should be cleaned rather well, the inside of the tubes. And that's then that, and then we should clean up this as well, and then we can test whether it slides in there really freely. So I will first clean up this one. Well, I have a long wooden stick here. And then I have these lint-free towels. And now I'm going to make a thing that can go there inside. It should be able to go there. Oh yeah, okay, now it goes there. Well, the thing is that if you have minuscule amounts of grease there, it will cause a lot of stickiness. Well, this fluid here is brake cleaner. Of course you should have ultrasonic cleaner. Well, I don't have that. So those of you who don't have ultrasonic cleaner, please pay attention. So now I just push this all the way through there, like that. And what do you see? Some black stuff coming from there. Huh. Okay, now. Now I can assume that this is quite clean and I can put it on top. Aha. Okay. Top here. And then this thing. Well, this is rather simple. I just wipe it out first. And see whether we have anything here. Well, we had something. Not much, but we had something. And this side I suspect we are having more. No. And then we have these gears here. And these look really clean. So I could probably try to, and this is, you don't wipe it this way, because then you would introduce lint into the, so I do it like this and look whether I get something from here. I suspect nothing is coming out. No. And this side then can be done like this. This was rather clean, and now we should be able to slide it there quite freely. So it was this way around. And remember, this doesn't need any lubrication. And yeah, it's it's different. It's more slippery now. So let's start putting this thing together. Let's take the bigger part of the movement. It's here in the big jar. The amount of oil is now I have on the tips of these pliers just the tiniest amount, and for example this is too much. And first I will try to put it into that cap there. It should go there. That's done. And then the next, but okay, that's probably already too much. And the oil should only go into that chamfer into there, nowhere else. Now I have a drop there. And it really, okay, now it went there. And I believe we have a little bit too much there, so I take a little bit away from there because I don't want to have that much there. It should, yeah, okay. I think we still have too much oil in that one. That one. So yeah, okay, now I got it away from there. Okay. And it's so tiny enough, tiny amount that it's unbelievable. This movement now. The last bit for this movement is the tension spring system. And then let's start with this. We have this little piece. This one goes under the spring here. It's not very easy to put there, but once you get it there, I use my, like that. Now it's there, under. And the next piece in the puzzle is this thing, which goes on top here. Like that. Yeah. And then we have yet another washer. This one has two sides. And I don't know whether this shows on the camera, but this is the underside and this is the top side. And it goes there on the top. And now I have to very carefully try to align these like that. And then we have one screw. It's this one. This screw, it should go on top of there. So that it goes, there was a loop in the spring and it should go there. Don't tighten it, just put it there so that it is there. Now, well, this movement is now ready to be installed. I use this as a support for this one at this point. I have tilted it even so slightly. And there should be no grease, no oil, nowhere here. Oil is a real killer for this one. So no oil in that one. And then furthermore, to show you that this thing, this one has two holes. That one is not used in this case, but this one is. It has a thread inside. It has two sides. One is recessed and the other one is not. So the recessed side comes, there is this slot. So the recessed side comes towards this. Then we have this screw, which is like a guide pin. Goes into there. Hopefully you can see this. Then you just screw this in. Trying not to damage anything, because this is very delicate. Okay? And then you can recheck by tilting this even so slightly that it slides freely. And it does. Well, so far so good. Then we need to put the movement there. And well, there isn't many ways to put it there. You just put it the correct way. Yeah, and there you are. And then you put 3 screws there. So then you put the 3 screws which attach this one. Don't tighten them yet. Just put them on place. That was the second one. And the final one. Okay. And then you check that it's still free, moves freely. Yes, it does. Then you can tighten these. And you don't need to tighten these like crazy, of course not. It's so easy to strip those. And now we have to put this upside down, so I use this bevel. There is now this pin which I don't want to damage, so I can put it this way now. And now comes the interesting part. This has to be, the spring has to be pretensioned. Pretensioned. And this is a funny operation somehow. You have this system which is the pretensioning system, and well, you first tighten this, and while losing it, you rotate this along, like this. Tighten, and then okay, now we can test it a little bit. It's not tight enough. So I hope you can see this, how I do this. I loosen it and at the same time, and I don't loosen it a lot, just a little bit. It's almost there. We still need to more tension. Now, yeah, I think we are there. And then I just put the back cover on because we don't need to touch. That's ready. We can close this, close the case, so to say. So we have here that kind of screws. Oh yeah, and of course you need to put this tube on to prevent any dirt from entering that. And then just these 3 screws. Does it work, this? Yeah. It's really nice now. You need to have this one first in there. These things. We have 3 of them. And their screws. Yeah. Pay attention which way you put these. So this one goes, for example, there. And then it has a screw. How come? And now we can put this on. And the 0 is pointing away from this thing. And I still check that we have it okay. And now it goes like that. And now in which position this should now because well, it should be a little bit and this is really a little bit. Let's see if I succeed in the first try. No, I did not. That's the wrong place, absolutely wrong place. So I need to move it a little bit. Like that. Let's see if that is correct. Yeah, it's correct. It's a little bit less than 0. Okay. That's in place now. And the next piece to go in is this. Somewhere in the rim we have an indent, do we? Yes, there is a notch. Very faint notch, but even nevertheless there is one. And you have a slot here, and that slot goes into that notch there. Like that. So then it doesn't rotate by itself. Then we can put in the pointer. And now the correct orientation for this one. This is now the pointer. And the correct orientation is a little bit before the 0. Somewhere like there. And then it's there, and then you just push it into place. Let me see if I have a good tool for this one. Put something on top and then you push. And there you are. There is a taper and it should lock into that taper. And then you put this ring there. And it still moves freely, right? Well, now I have some ethanol here, and now I will clean one side really well. That will be the underside after this. Like that, and then I take even more wipes, so like that. Now it's clean, and I put the clean side now there under. Okay, there you go. And then the final step are these rings. And well, you just put it there, squeeze it a little bit, and push it onto place. And the other one, same story. Just put them in a way that they look pretty. These are what hold the thing together. And now I think we have, yeah, it works. This here is our next patient. There are two reasons why I would like to take this apart and put it back together. First of all, this is probably the more common type of dial indicator you have, the construction inside. And then again, it has some stickiness into it, so I don't know what, but there is something going on inside there. These are C-clips in this case, which I just put in a way that I can put a screwdriver there under and then bend this away from there. When I get hold from it, I just push it in and it comes off like that. And it's a little bit dirty actually. And then the same for the other one. Now I can take this also away. And then this, well, this is plastic, should drop, and it did. It dropped off. And it's really dirty. Wow. Like that. 2 pieces of wood there. And then grip around it. Put your finger on top of the needle before you pull. Now it went. It snaps off like that. There's your needle. And yeah, okay. And then we have that one, which is very similar, but it's smaller. And by the way, I can see right away that it's not in a correct position, or something is not in a correct position here. So hopefully this one comes off easier than that did. Yeah. There you have it. Small needle. There you go. Can we lift off the bevel? Yes, this one comes then off. Ring like that. And then we should be able to get this as well out from there. Like that. There is a small notch here on the side. Pay attention to that one. And now also this one should come off, I believe. Yeah, it did. Then this ring comes off quite simply by, we have those Phillips screws. Oh yeah. 1, 2, and 3. And then we have those little springy things here. These. Dirty, really dirty. Oh man. And this came now right off. So I will use this again as a base, so that when I turn it around, again 3 Phillips screws, plastic back plate, okay. Oh yeah, okay. Well, before we take the movement out, it would probably be a good idea to get this guide away from here. Because this can damage parts. This is, oh well, plastic. Wow. Is this... Oh yeah, we have a... In the backside we have a gasket. Now we have ordinary screws, not the Phillips. Just ordinary. I think we should get the movement out now. Okay, 3 screws away. And now let's see whether it is loose. And I can definitely feel something like a grease there. Oil or something. And that's always bad with these things. Okay. Well, it's a really thick brass plate which has the movement in it. Okay. Let's go later on with that one. And then there is oil all over the place. There shouldn't be any oil here. That might be some, I don't know what that might be, but then we have this, which comes out from there. Okay. Then we have this tip, which also comes out. And then we have the spring. Which also comes out like that. We need to get rid of that. Okay. Okay. Now this pin needs to come off from there in order to get this cleaned up. And yeah, and I can feel already it's a little bit sticky. So, yeah, well, let's use this. I just grip with this one. Yeah, like that, and then I screw it off. Like that. There you are. Well, and then we can pull this rod off from here. Well, it's a little bit, there is some burr in that one. Well, that's not good. I don't want to push it through the hole with the burr. Let's see. Okay, I got it. This is the next thing to take apart. And I need my optimizers again. Yeah, off it came. A pin, tapered pin. And then we can get the hairspring out of the hole. Like that. And then this whole system should, yeah, go there. And then we have this center thing here. Yeah, oops. And we have yet another jewel there, but, and this is oily, really oily. Then I put this into brake cleaner bath because it had a lot of oil in it. And now, that pointer, the millimeter pointer, was in a wrong place. That was pointing the wrong way around. Really wrong. That tiny pointer, which is, by the way, we have a black pointer and a dark blue background. No, which is really bad. So I put it somewhere there. But now I try to put it on a correct orientation so that it's... there you are. And now it should be somewhere really faintly past 0. I mean this side past 0. Yeah, okay. I think that's the correct place, and now I push it down. I have a flat surface here, and then I just push it. Very gently. You don't need to overdo this. Now it's there. And if you probably you can see, it's a little bit before the 0. That's the correct place. So now we can put this one in. Boom. And now I would also like to have the 0 up there. When it's 0 at the 0 position, so then it's like up. So now let's take this one then. Okay. So I would like to, okay. So it's somewhere there. Now it's 0. Yeah. It's about quarter turn. There you are. That's the correct place. And then I push it down into the taper. There you are. Yeah. There you are. And then this one goes like that. Okay. Then we had this really dirty. Oh man. Well, it's clean enough. There you are. Well, it feels a lot smoother than it did. And then I put the first one in. Oh. That's there. I think it's that way around. Wow. Yeah. And now it's correct. Well, when you put pointers here, when it's resting so that it's so there should be about 1 quarter turn, like before it reaches the 0. And therefore also this indicator, which is indicating the whole millimeter, should be a little bit in advance. And now they, at the moment, they agree. Of course, when you turn this somewhere, this millimeter dial no more agrees, but when you have it right up like here, it agrees. Okay, done. This one is our third and probably the last patient today. Well, let's see what this is. This is an old Hahn et Kolb Stuttgart dial indicator, which is This is a very good quality instrument, used to be at least. I can see right away that the pointer is in the wrong place. Actually, when it's resting, it should be around here. And I also can see that the millimeter pointer inside there, that's also in the wrong place. It should be like, well, and the dials are really dirty. So let's see what I can do for this. This is an really old instrument, and well, how to take? This bezel is really chewed up. I think somebody has been digging here around. Looks horrific. I need to do something about that. Spacer, another spacer. This is aluminium, so I don't harm the shaft. And then I have this, that pin there is hardened, and so is this. Yeah, it definitely goes there. There you are. Well, wow. And we have the pin here. Oh, well, definitely a hardened pin. Boom. And then we should be able to get this away from here. Well, we have burr. I'm getting rid of this horrific burr. We have the, hopefully now, yeah, okay. That's done. Well, now let's put this together. The first thing, of course, I have cleaned all the holes. It has been soaking in the brake cleaner, so this is totally oil-free. Not totally. The amount of oil is so diluted that it's really... And as you can see, it moves freely, without oil. And that's good. Well, next thing is the movement. I will now start dealing with that one. So let's take it out of the jar. Now, now what? Okay. there you are. So like that, but I put it 1/4 turn there. And now I push it into place. Again, we need this small thing with a flat surface, and then I just, on top of this, I push it. And there you are. I could feel like it went into a taper there. This is not going to be fun. This, I don't know whether you see it. It's so small. And then we have this thing which has the taper on it. This. Okay, now how to get... Okay, then I put it in between my pliers here. And when I get it there, I squeeze. Now, it should be flat. I need a small drop of glue there. And okay, it snapped. Oh wow. And then I try to be careful. Oh. We have it there now. But I would like to take some of it away from there. Yeah. Okay, now I guess I just wait. Well, looks like we have a winner here. There is one more thing I would like to do. I would like to put some Sharpie on that one. Just a little bit. Touch it with this one. So, now. Well, it really looks like we have a winner. Good. Well, that was actually very hard to put on place. But if you don't try, you cannot succeed. So then we have this, see that there are no hair there inside. There you are, and then this ring. Oh yeah, there you are. Wow. Huh. Well, it looks different. It really looks different, but it feels a lot different. Unfortunately, you cannot feel it, but this is probably the smoothest indicator I have. Well, there you are.
Now, there are things that you should not do with your dial indicator. Usually, when common sense runs out, the tools tend to get bigger. Well, using improper tools with your dial indicators might cause more damage than good. Ultraviolence is never a good idea. In this case, the shaft was bent, and luckily this succeeded. But the chances to succeed with this kind of thing are really slim. Squirting liquids into your dial indicators is not a very good idea. What happens here is that the liquid will be sucked into the dial indicator by capillary action. And if there was any dirt on the way, it will only get deeper inside. applying oil to improper places is a sure way to make your dial indicator sticky. It might not be sticky right away, but after a while the oil attracts dust particles and they go into the bearing surfaces, and after that you have a sticky dial indicator.
That was overhauling 3 dial indicators. Oh well, the last one was quite difficult because it was a little bit broken, and it also had that millimeter needle problem. But it got solved, and now it's all right. Next time somebody repairs it, it will be a lost case, for sure. Loctite in a place like that will render it, you cannot dismantle it anymore. No way. Well, but that's it. So, in the next episode of Finno-Ugric Machining, we are probably using those, those dial indicators, and it will be finally the cover plate for this cycloid drive. So, till then, bye!